What is up, everybody? I hope this video finds you doing very well. It's a new year. It's currently January 1st of 2022 as I'm recording this video, which means we have a whole new opportunity to set goals and achieve them. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I feel like people typically don't have the best process of setting fitness goals. They either have a way too lofty goal in mind, or they're kind of undershooting themselves in what they can really achieve. So my process is a little bit different than what you typically might see, and I think that it helps you be much more successful in one, setting goals that you can achieve, and two, then getting a plan of action to achieve those goals. Now, you've probably heard of SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. I'm not going to cover those because I feel like that process has just been hammered into people's minds so much over the years. And I will say there is a lot of validity to setting SMART goals and going about goals that way, but I think my process is just a little bit better. And before we get into it, let's just do the basics. Like this video, hit me with a subscribe, notification bell if you're trying to see every time I post a new video. And then, maybe even share around the video if you have some friends or family that are looking to set their own fitness goals for 2022. Let's get into the good stuff. The first step, something that I think is very, very valuable, is not just thinking about your fitness goals and having them in your mind, but actually putting your pen to your paper. I will say actively writing or typing is a great way to just add that next level of accountability to your goals. And I really would recommend doing that if you're serious about achieving your goals in 2022. Now, remember how I said a lot of people don't have the best process of setting fitness goals without their prior knowledge? I think that's because a lot of times you don't take the time to really recognize where you are now. Where you are now, and then creating a strategy to build off of your current status is what's really important in creating a viable plan, right? So for me, I'm a personal trainer. I went to school for this stuff, and I have a Bachelor of Science in Health Promotion, Nutrition, and Exercise Science. So I'm pretty passionate about it. It is the focus of a lot of my thought. I might have a little bit of a, more advanced starting point than the average person. When I'm examining where I am now, I like to give myself a little grade, right? And I'm gonna overlay a little bit of what I typed down as I was thinking about this video. If I were to give myself a grade as it just pertains to my overall fitness habits, I'd give myself right now, we've had the holidays, I haven't been as on point as I have in the past. I would say I'm at 85% of my true potential. So I do train consistently, I do constantly meal prep and have the intentions of eating good, but I will say it's not perfect. So I'm at 85%. I want to get up to 95% within the next 2 or 3 months, right? What does that look like for me personally? First and foremost, like I said, I have a lot of good base habits built, but one thing I want to improve on is really limiting my sweet tooth. Sometimes I let that get in the way of hitting my calories for the day, and I think that adds to a little bit more weight gain, as we probably all know. Currently, my goal is to gain weight, but you don't want to just be pounding cookies in order to do that. That's not going to be quality muscle mass. So, step one, take some time to think about where are you now. Maybe your grade to yourself is, I'm only at 50%, I'm inconsistent in the gym. I do go, but I could be more consistent and get on a workout plan. Your goal could maybe get to be 60%, where you go to the gym several times a week and you're pretty on point with your nutrition. Little goals like that will go a long way. Take some time to really think and write down where you are now, and that will get the ball rolling for how we can improve this process. So now that you've taken some time to write down where you are now, give yourself that baseline, it's now important to think, where am I going? Now, this doesn't have to be a super specific goal, SMART goal type thing, but having a general idea of where you're going, and especially on the habits side of things, is what's really going to help out in this portion of goal setting. So for me, I recognize that I'm at the point where I need to capitalize on those positive habits that I already do on a weekly basis, right? So what I do well, I train 5 to 6 times a week in the gym. I have meal prep meals on deck so that I can have healthy food throughout the day. And then I have been doing a really good job of, and then finally, I've been doing a really good job of getting my steps in right around 10,000 steps a day. I take walks. The main purpose there is I want to capitalize on those positive habits and kind of grow them to getting to what my true goal is. So where am I going? I want to get to a point where I'm so locked in that I'm not even tempted by those things I discussed earlier, right? So at times I've been so locked into my goals that those things don't even faze me. Maybe you've had a similar experience with something that you've done at work or a project that you've worked on for school, but at a certain point you get so locked in that you're just in the zone. And that's what I want to do. That's where I'm going with this process. So think about, what do you do well so far? And then how can you capitalize on those things? What's going to take you to getting to that general goal? Alrighty, so we've established a baseline. We know where we are now. Thought about generally where are you going? And third, and probably most importantly, is how do I get there? I think exercises like this, where you're actively thinking and writing about your goals, is really important. It's what's gonna get the ball rolling. It's what's gonna keep it fresh on your mind. So one, doing this process and then keeping it available, right? Like I said, this is in my agenda book. I'm gonna be accessing that every day. Another thing for my specific instance, and you can maybe think of something specifically for you as well after I get through this, is I am really big on having designated days where I can enjoy like desserts. Call it a cheat meal. Some people don't like that verbiage. It is what it is, right? So creating that plan is key for me to put everything to action as I'm about to set these specific goals. So I hope you've taken some time to put some thought and write down those 3 questions. Where am I now? Where am I going? And how do I get there? The ball's now rolling, so let's get into specific goals. Once again, the SMART goals is a great way to think about this process, but I'm not gonna stress that on you too much. I am gonna tell you about my specific goal, and then you can take some time, maybe pause the video as we're going through, take some time to think about what you're trying to achieve. If you have any problems thinking, is my goal realistic? Feel free to drop a comment down below or just shoot me a message on Instagram and we can talk about those things, because I know it can be hard to really understand what's realistic. So without further ado, let's get to my specific fitness goal for 2022. It's an aesthetic-based goal because I want to maintain a lean, aesthetic physique at 205 pounds by the end of this year. So to give you a little bit of background about where I'm coming from with this goal, in 2021, I cut weight from 220 down to 198. And that physique at 198 pounds is what I would like to bring to 2022, but at 205 pounds. That's 7 pounds of muscle mass added to my frame in a year. So pause the video and think of the specific things you want to achieve. Maybe like me, it's a weight manipulation. Maybe it's a strength goal, but take some time to write down where you're at now, where you're going to go, and how you get there. Once you've done all that, I feel very confident that you can set a long-term goal and short-term goals to lead up to that process. So as I said, my long-term goal for 2022 is maintain a lean, aesthetic 205-pound physique. I'm gonna write that down now. Take some time to write it down for yourself. It's also important to consider, why is this a goal?
Why?
So I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag. I've been thinking about doing a bodybuilding show for quite some time now. So this is a good landmark for me in the year of what I consider to be a building year, 2022, for when I compete in a bodybuilding show in 2023. That's kind of like the plan I have in my head. This is why I'm setting these goals, because it leads to a longer term goal even still. Maybe your why is you just want to be healthier so you can stick around longer for your family. You want to be there for your grandkids. Whatever your why might be, it doesn't matter. But it's important to define that, because that's a great source of motivation for you throughout the course of this process of achieving your goal. You have your long-term goal, but I think it's also important to hit those checkmark short-term goals along the way. So I'm going to challenge you to think of 5 short-term goals that contribute to your long-term goal as you go through this process, right? Let's go through mine specifically so you can have a little bit of an idea of what I'm doing, and then maybe take some inspiration and apply it to your own individual circumstances. First short-term goal. I want to continue massing to 215 pounds. So I have right around 5 more pounds to gain, which I project will take me around to the end of February, beginning of March of 2022. That's when I'd like to be at a pretty healthy looking 215. My next short-term goal is to maintain that 215 pounds for around 2 months, the months of March and April, before I then, third short-term goal, start a weight loss phase to cut from 215 to 205 over the next 3 months. So that'll take me through May, June, and July. After I lose those 10 pounds, I want to then maintain 205 for the rest of August, September, October, and then assess from there and see what I need to do as I prep for a bodybuilding competition. So now you have some inspiration of what I'm doing. Take some time, pause the video, write down your short-term goals, and then you can just check off your short-term goals one by one until it equates to your long-term goal. Well, guys, that's all I have for you in this segment of how do I set and achieve my fitness goals for 2022. Think about where you are now to establish that baseline, where you're going, how do you get there, and then apply that to the specific goal that you have. Make it smart, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Those things are all important. Guys, I hope this process has been helpful for you as you frame your goals for 2022. If you have any questions, once again, feel free to drop them down in the comment section below. Once again, guys, it's a huge help to me in growing this channel. If you liked the video, hit that subscribe button with the notifications on, and then share the video around with your friends if you find it valuable. Guys, I will be doing another video this week, speaking it into existence. That's one of my 2022 goals, of a more vlog style, practical, day by day of how I'm living out this goal, right? So my goal for this YouTube stuff is to, one, give you informational content and then show you how it practically plays out in life. Because of course you can set the plan, put the pen on the paper, but the action is what really matters. So I hope to, one, teach, and then two, kind of show you that it is possible through this 2 upload per week YouTube cycle. Be on the lookout for that later this week. The goal is Wednesday or Thursday to have that vlog style video up that pertains to your goal. Once again, I really appreciate you all for watching. Hope you're having a great New Year's so far, and I'll catch you in that next video.